much for coming out. It's like fall now, but we have learned that it is always ice cream season in Texas. We just modify our flavors. Why did I call it flavors? They're usually natural. So yeah, so this month we have the peach cobbler because it seems seasonal, but I don't know anything, so we'll see. And I guess that's my rant. But we're really excited that you're here. We have a really great lineup for you in terms of a full open mic. We've got 8 guests and then our featured readers for the evening. My name's Anar. I'm Chandra. We never introduce ourselves.
So now we always introduce ourselves.
Yes. And yeah, welcome to Ice Cream Social. Feel free to browse some of our cool pics on the back table. For now, we're just going to go ahead and get started with the open mic. Yeah.
Up first, we have returning once again, Alisha.
Alisha. Woo!
Whispering to it? Can you hear me? Is it working? Okay, cool. So yes, my name's Alisha Ruff. The poem I'm going to do is an angry poem, and I don't want to offend anybody. In Austin, there's sort of an etiquette that I'm not always familiar with. Sometimes I step on toes, so I'm just telling you that ahead of time. I was very angry because I was excluded from a women's group that was important to me, and I wasn't the kind of woman that they wanted. And it was done in a very underhanded way, but it begs the question, what is a woman? You know, and I've asked people, and it's like I get this from women, you know, are you your uterus is what my point is, you know, because if you are excluding me, who's been a woman from as far back as I can remember, you know, the kids in school when I was 8 years old knew I was a girl, okay? And if you're excluding me, then what are you really saying? So that's where the poem comes from. Also, I don't hate men. The poem is sort of an angry poem, but it's about unopposed testosterone. Masculinity is very good when it's balanced with femininity. But our country is such a violent, angry culture. That's what I'm criticizing. Okay?
Alisha, before you start.
All right.
Alisha, before you start.
I'm going.
They can't really hear you.
Oh, you can't hear me?
So,
All right.
I can also raise it for you a little bit.
Please. I thought I was booming over this thing.
You gotta go like right on it. It's kind of awkward.
Okay. Can you hear me now? Is that too loud? Am I good? Okay. All right. So the name of my poem is Vaginas. And if it was my friend's daughter, who's 5 years old, we'd call it Ginies. So, vaginas, is this all that you are? Tight inside, an object like designer leather or a plaid cardigan, puffed up over curves they call tits, obscene and inviting, is that all that you are? Tight inside under wraps, an object like an iPhone XS, stuffed into the back pocket of Eagle outfit or jeans blue, riding high over, what do they call it? Your ass? Tight under wraps, is that all you are? Cooter, snatch, an object? Like the 1.5 carat diamond he bought you from Jared? Vagina is buried under Victoria's Secret. Is that all you are, really? There are men and there are women, I was once told, as I traipsed around the house in my mother's oversized high heels. You are not you, you are this. You will be this, I was ordered, bound and gagged by your rules. Beaten, spit on, threatened into a mold I threw away anyway. That mold is gone, along with my family, so-called friends, and the privilege that choked my spirit blue. They are all gone. I stand alone. I am a woman. I am she, not kind of, or wish I could be, or pretend like a wannabe time traveler, not a trans fucking whatever. I am a woman, not a pair of tits and a nice pin-up ass for the pleasure of sweaty hands and cigarette breath on top, whether I want it or not. To pay the price for what? Well, guess what? I paid that price. For what? I paid my dues. I have the scars I promised you. I have watched them charge through life with their dicks erect, dropping their bombs and firing their missiles to master the universe. Grown men playing Nintendo war games that shatter mothers and fathers and children like candy glass. To bring the enemy underhand the way they want to bring us underhand. Pounding away to make the very soil bend to their will. To make it happen. To turn the earth with sweaty palms as if they own it. I guess someone has to do it. Really? That is not me. That is not me. That is not me. I am not the plow. I wade the bending grass to feel the tickle against my legs at mid-calf. Just to have it for a second with the sunshine and the breeze through my dress against my sweaty skin. I am open and receiving. I am present and listening. I am respectful of the rhythm and the tide. We are open and receiving, fresh and in touch, present for the tickle of high grass against the legs at mid-calf. I am the flow. I am the rhythm. I am love inside and out. I have ears and I have a voice. I am a woman. Any questions?
Alisha, thank you so much for kicking off our open mic with that piece. Thank you. Alisha will be joining us as a featured reader in January, so mark your calendars now. Next up, we've got our in-house playwright, our dear friend, and she'll be able to register you to vote if you approach and ask nicely. Please welcome to the stage our dear friend Aneesa.
Honestly, even if you don't ask me nicely, I will still register you to vote. So yeah, just to reiterate on that one, I can do Travis County, Williamson County, and then I have a couple of other forms which work for anyone in the state and their mail-in. Okay, so for the creative part, for those who don't know, I have a blog called Lyrics to Lines. Well, it's Lyrics to Lines. It's on lyricstolines.com. I take song lyrics from a song and create a scene or a monologue of a play that doesn't really exist. Allyson, do you want to help me? Okay, perfect. So tonight's song is, it's naive, inspired by this song from the same name, from the Kooks.
I love how I'm old and don't know what any of these are.
It's okay. I try to break it up, but
And then you play
find
a
out.
throwback. Yeah, I got it.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
And so then you play Rob. I'm Rob. My name is Rhea in the piece, and I will also read the stage directions. Can everyone hear? Okay. Rhea and Rob are standing in Rhea's apartment kitchen. They've been drinking and are meeting up some friends downtown. They're both in their early to mid-20s.
I may say it was your fault.
Not this again.
Why not?
Because I know you could have done more too. You always do this.
What?
Turn it on everyone else.
No, it's usually not my fault. I'd fess up if it was. You did it and won't accept it.
You're impossible. You're so naive and so unbearable.
Yet you keep dating me.
I'm waiting for you to tell me you've cheated on me.
How could this be your question? I've never.
Sure.
What have I done to get this accusation by such a smiling sweetheart?
Don't pretend. We know you. We both know your game.
You want me to tell you that your sweet and pretty face is everything I need and I would never cheat?
That says it all, doesn't it?
Why do you stay if you know?
The same reason you can't let me go.
Well, that is such an ugly way to see something so beautiful. What do?
We go out with our friends and dance and get more drunk. There's a silence and Rhea gets really upset, throws glasses across the stage. They shatter. Every time I look inside and really question us and how we got here, why do I stay? It is a great question, and Jessie, she knows that I'm not fond of asking, so I'll do it quickly to rip off the Band-Aid. How many women have you cheated on me with? We've been together for 3 years.
I'm not going to answer that.
More than 5? Silence. 10?
True or false, you're not going to be happy.
That may be, but I will get you back for this. She checks her watch. Better call a lift. She looks back at him as she gathers her purse by the door. You coming? Thank you.
Up next we have Tiff.
Do I need to adjust the mic down?
I'm afraid so.
No problem. I am laterally challenged as well.
How's that? Is that good?
Yep.
All right. In petals. About the time I was trying to decide whether to have a sex change operation, but before I threw all my dresses and skirts, my slips and nylons in the trash, my boyfriend invited me to a fancy nightclub for New Year's Eve. The disco ball made me nervous. I have nothing to wear, I told him, although I meant, I don't know what to wear. I don't know who I am. No problem, he answered. He drove me to the mall in his red Ford Escort, took me to O'Neill's or Kaufman's or Macy's, whatever it was called back then, found a black velvet bodice with a crinoline skirt etched in gold. Part of this is missing, I told him, though it was lovely. I couldn't imagine myself in it. To me, it was lovely like a painting or a flower. I could no more imagine wearing it than dressing in petals. He took me to the foundations department. I had already told him I was neuter, had told him on our very first date. He saw a clerk restocking against the wall. We need a backless, strapless black bra, he announced, his voice floating over the underwires, his words catching in their cups. He paused. What's your size? He asked me. I had never been in that department with someone else. I only owned athletic bras. I preferred styles that minimized and had considered wrapping my chest. 36C, I whispered. 36C, he boomed. In a moment, the thing had appeared. And the other one is about my alter ego, Tracy. Tracy can't hold her liquor, is a flirt but not a tease, will say anything to anyone, and has. Left me looking for car keys and bushes, panties balled at the end of the bed. Tracy believes in astrology but not insurance, likes low-cut blouses and cheap sentimental jewelry. Sometimes she whistles for no apparent reason, prays when she thinks I can't hear. Tracy thinks recommended daily allowances are for suckers. She never gets up to make sure the stove's off or check the smoke detector. Once she went for milk and came back with a convertible. Traded my Civic for 50 monthly payments. My husband asks, can't Tracy come over? But stops short of please so he won't seem too eager. I don't want to know what they do together. Tracy plays the wine glasses at parties, runs a finger over each rim, adjusts the pitch with sips of Zinfandel or Burgundy, her lips so red, I pale in comparison, make her apologies. Try to believe it when I say, it's not me, it's Tracy.
Thank you so much, Tiff. Up next is a dear friend of mine, very dear friend of mine. I'm so happy she's here, just like I'm happy to be here. Tú-Uyên with.
Thank you, everyone, so much. The powerful people who were here, I feel so much of your energy, your strength, and nhân danh Cha và Con và Thánh Thần. Amen. Lạy Chúa, xin cho con biết sợ tội, cho con được ơn khôn ngoan, cho con thế giới được hòa bình, cho kẻ có tội cho ơn trở lại, cho linh hồn Anna Hồng Liên Nguyễn, An Tôn cả thành Nguyễn. và Maria, Lê Thị ta được đi về nhà Chúa nghỉ ngơi. Hằng xem thấy mặt Đức Chúa Trời sáng láng vui vẻ vô cùng. Amen. In the name of the Father, in the name of the Mother, the Daughter, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Please, God, let me know how to fear sin. Let me, so that, please, I can come back, the soul of Anna, Hồng Liên Nguyễn, Anton, Gã Thành Nguyễn, and Mary, Lê Thị Ta, so they can come home and rest with you, God, peacefully, with the hope of seeing the face of God for sunshine and endless happiness. Amen. आप कहाँ से हैं? आपके माता पिता कहाँ रहते हैं? क्यों? क्या हुआ? नाजायज बच्ची बोलती हैं। क्यों? क्या हुआ? क्यों आपने कहा कि युद्ध का कारण था? क्या सच है? ¿Ya apne mentiraste? Puedo hablar en tu idioma por un poquito de tiempo. Gracias para ayudarme a encontrar mi voz, mi poder, mi ser en una comunidad muy amable, como mi familia, pero diferente, único, especial. Where are you from? Where do your parents live? Why? What happened? The illegitimate daughter speaks. Why? What happened? Why did you say that war was the reason? Was it true? Or were you lying? I can speak in your language for a wee bit of time. Thank you for helping me find my voice, my power, my being in a community so welcoming, kind, loving, like my family, but different, unique, special. Thank you.
All right, since no one can hear me, I'm going to use this thing. Thank you, Tú-Uyên. Up next, we've got Kim Haught. Kim.
All right, can you hear me okay? All right. Aneesa taught me into doing this, so I'm a little shy because of my genre. Can you hear it? Okay. The first one I'm reading is from an excerpt from a novel that I have in progress called Kamahele, which means traveler in Polynesian. It's titled Her Eyes. Daniel leaned his head against the shop window, his breath warm against it. Its cold, hard surface clouded his view of the 17th century map inside. A fragile and torn map. Faded, dark ink drawings of sea demons and long-forgotten maritime routes traveled by captains and sailors, pirates and kings. The map he had coveted for almost as long as he could remember. A map he knew would lead him to a fortune. Yet now that he had finally found it, his mind was not on the map, not even close. His mind was on her. Damn her, he couldn't think of anything else. Damn the treasure he knew was there. It was she he coveted most. He sensed her, knew she was there, felt her, breathed her essence. He craved her touch before it even came. He turned to face her and lost himself within her eyes. Those eyes, they captured him, would not release him. A beautiful blend of innocence and seduction. There they stood on one of the most crowded streets in one of the largest cities. Everything else disappeared. A craving, agonizingly somewhere between lust and love, drew them closer together. The gravitational pull, stronger than they could resist, had either of them wanted to resist. She reached up and gently touched the side of his face, then, feather soft, she slid her fingers along his temple, weaving his hair between them, all the while keeping her eyes locked on him, embracing him. She dove suddenly deep into his mind, and he hardened with desire for her. He wanted her here, now. He knew she was making love to him, melted upon that fine line of hedonic lust. He felt her in his mind. She was inside, exploring him, touching him, all of him. Her hands traveled where her mind led his mind, inviting him to follow. Down his neck, across his shoulders, along his chest, down the contours of his stomach and the curves of his tightened ass, stopping to explore, intimately, every inch of his body. Everywhere her fingers touched, his flesh responded, wanting more, craving more, his senses heightened with the sex and anticipation of her path as her fingers reached their destination. She ran her hands up and down him like a sculptor coaxing her clay to rise upon the wheel, wet and smooth. It was pleasure, it was pain. It was becoming more than he could take, yet taking her was the pleasure and the pain he wanted most. Without taking her eyes from him, she bent low to kiss him as her hand slid up to meet her lips, then lightly tickled him with her tongue, teasing him, delving down deep to the base and rising again. Slowly, till she reached the rim, and playfully circled there till he knew he could take no more. Any moment, he would explode. He felt he was living and dying in her eyes all at once. The vibrations started low, then began to increase, traveling the paths of every nerve, every artery, every muscle in his body, till he felt it radiated out of every inch of him, and he wanted to scream her name, devour her, tear into her soul till she begged him for the mercy that her eyes refused to give him. Then she smiled. Not a sweet smile, not an innocent smile, but the smile of one who knew she had conquered. She would give no absolution. She closed her eyes for a brief moment, and he was mercifully released. Her seduction complete, she turned and walked away, a specter disappearing into the crowd, having never touched him, condemning yet forever condemning his soul. There was no map that would lead him from his torment. Exhausted, Daniel leaned his head upon the shop window and lost himself in the haunting of her eyes. That's that one. The other two are not that long, so. Anyway, this one was written, I have a very good friend of mine, very interesting guy that used to be a boyfriend, and he single-handedly sailed his sailboat all the way and circumnavigated the earth himself. And we always told him that his sailboat was his lover. So, anyway, this is called Lady Rhapsody, which Rhapsody is the name of his boat. Fair winds are blowing, the water beckons. Come sail, come sail. Your lady doth quiver, yearning to be wet. Untie her bindings, lower her down into her haven of birth, where she can kiss the brine with the brood. Do not lash her abreast a cold, hard pier. Set her free, let her soar in ecstasy. Your hands may caress her helm ardently, but she controls the slant of the daggered keel. Let her rise, let her fall, out of her irons, unfurl her sails, then release raptured sheets, to once again ascend, undulating, in sensual bliss embraced by her sea. Born again she sails in her rhapsody. And then the last one's really short. Tre voici. And I don't know if I'm saying it correctly, but do you sing Troy harmonies? If so, let you and I begin our slow duet, and she shall sing obbligato. No other audience will ever know the perfect chord of our concerto. Tre voici, joining in the night.
Up next, we have Laci. Please join us on the stage.
Okay, this is a poem called Ace of Cups. At first, you will feel the gentle tremors of a life you love changing. Don't worry, you are shedding your skin, my dear. Your molecules are shifting, your heart is breaking. Slowly, and then all at once, you will find yourself sobbing on the bathroom floor, sitting in the shower, letting the tap water baptize you in the name of heartbreak and fresh beginnings. You will ache. You will not change the sheets. You will stare at the popcorn ceiling above your bed for too long, too many mornings in a row. Your friends will come over. They will peel his shirt off of you. You will dance, dance, dance. The sweat will cleanse whatever the shower could not. In the morning, you will cry more. You will paint your living room purple. You will meditate badly. One by one, you will take down the photos. You will throw out the ticket stubs. You will hide the postcards, letters, and love notes. You will put them neatly into a box you keep in the back of your closet. You will sit on the floor of your apartment. If you are very lucky, your best friend will sit with you, pressing her hands into yours, her forehead onto yours. She will tell you she is taking some of your pain because it is too heavy for one person to carry. You will burn with rage. You will burn sage. You will burn Palo Santo. You will burn toast in the oven. Then you will call on a tarot card reader. She will tell you that everything that has happened has made you infinitely, irrevocably stronger. You can tame lions, she will say. The Ace of Cups is yours, she will say. The universe wants to give you everything you've ever wanted. The King of Swords is all that's in the way, she will say. You will go to yoga and weep in downward dog. The tears will run out of your eyes as the sweat drips into them, and you will breathe, 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 becoming one with the universe. You will eat vegetables. You will change the sheets. You will open the drapes. You will cut your hair, but not too short this time. You will swim in the ocean, adopt a one-eyed dog, teach special needs kids how to ride horses. You will run a marathon. You will make fresh coffee. You will change jobs, change apartments, change cities, but only if you want to. Buy plants, breathe. And when you've done everything to weather the storm, you will give in and let it wash over you, willing to bravely, quietly sit in it, feel it, appreciate it. This is the material with which you begin to know yourself, your parents, your essence, your therapist will say. You will apply for your MFA. You will write about it. You will tell others. And slowly, but all at once, you will feel the soft fluttering of a new life, one you couldn't have ever imagined, quietly and suddenly beginning, and you will be ready to do it all over again.
Thank you, Laci. That was inspiring. I'm gonna conquer everything. Really, it was a beautiful poem. Up next, we've got Allyson Whipple, and I will not tell you what genre of poem Allyson is reading today. She will surprise us. Allyson, get up here.
I did bring haiku this time because I made you so sad last time, and then I felt terrible for not reading them. So I have an assortment of haiku. I will read them all twice because they are tiny. Swirl of steam in your coffee cup, the smoke rises from your ashtray. Swirl of steam in your coffee cup, the smoke rises from your ashtray. 2 a.m, mistaking filtered stage lights for the full moon. 2 a.m, mistaking filtered stage lights for the full moon. Hanging laundry on the line, playing chicken with the rain clouds. Hanging laundry on the line, playing chicken with the rain clouds.
Thank you, Allyson. No pressure to read haiku every time, seriously. Our final open micer tonight is Daria. Please welcome Daria.
Hello? I have to. Okay, that will help a lot.
Absolutely.
Cool. I have two relatively short poems to read. The first one is called August 23rd. I am lavender's child. The air cannot contain me. I walk the lawn, but all along unable to see. I don't quite remember the words I've said before. Regardless, everything spilled out onto the floor. Emotional become physical, nerve endings begin to react. I understand the difference. Now I will move on intact. We don't need pain for art, a myth I have since bid farewell. Can your arms feel my imperfections? I won't tell. I tried to mold the words until they seemed to fit. English can't quite capture the way my thoughts sit. Language never enough to communicate my head. I know not where to go, nor where I am led. The road won't stop. I will not escape the mess. A plan for my life? That I could only guess. The next one is called An Ode to Yourself. Why wait for someone else to write of you when you can do that yourself? You are the first rays of rose gold morning light arriving in the east. You greet each new day as a version of your better self. You are the inspiration that hits in those quiet moments least expected. Conversation challenges you, but you're great with a pen. You are the hushed voice whispering of all the good things waiting ahead. You know how to find happiness and not to ask anything for it. You are the eternal promise held by your potential, ever flowing, ever constant. You'll add footprints on the moon if your heart wants it to happen. Why wait for someone else to love you when you can do that yourself? Thank you.